Hey everybody, Bones here, Bones Garage. Just bringing you an update what's going on at the garage. So, 1957 Chevy Belair. We have a lot done on the wiring. Last time I brought you in, I believe we had most of the wiring in here done. We now have all of the wiring in here done. So, we have all our horns hooked up, everything's loomed, all of our lights are hooked up. Our headlights, high and low beams, all hooked up. Everything's run with grommets. There are no wires passing through any kind of metal without a grommet. And every wire is secured and loomed, all up on the front. We have also now started getting all of the engine wiring in. So you can see back there, it comes out from the interior of the car and runs down and to the engine. And I will show you as I walk around. There you go. So the white wire here is the tachometer wire. We don't have a tack in here, but I like to get them all hooked up, and then I just terminate the end with something to keep it from shorting the coil out. So this way, if he ever wants to hook up a tack, it's real easy to run it and put it in. That's our positive for our coil wire right there. Then we have our water temperature wire, our oil pressure wire, which goes right there. The water temperature wire runs right through here, right to the water temperature sensor. And it runs along with the charge wire from the alternator. And that comes around and powers our mega fuse setup. So there you have the bus bar right there. And it pushes the power up into the bus bar, up into that mega fuse, and from there it runs it all the way out, around, and down to the starter. And it goes to the hot positive wire that the positive terminal comes off of, the positive cable comes off of, to the starter. That's how your battery gets charged. So the wire goes all the way around, all the way down to the starter, and then from there it hits the starter wire. That's the battery right there, the battery starter, the battery cable, and it comes up and around. It goes to another fuse. That's a 200 amp circuit breaker right there. Goes through that to that little short wire, and then to the positive terminal of the battery. That's how your battery gets charged. The next wire over here is for the interior. This wire here powers up the fuse block, and then that powers everything up. So it goes right from here around and into the rubber grommet and into the interior. And then we have the rest of the wires going for the little tan wire right there. That little tan wire comes around and that hooks up to the choke. That's a positive for the choke, and then the choke is just grounded to the engine itself. So we have all of that now set up and just about ready to go. And I want to go to this circuit breaker right here. That's a 200 amp circuit breaker. I like using these because normally you would have fusible links down here. Let's see if we can see it from up here. There you go. You would have fusible links from the starter to the battery cable right here, right in there. You would have a fusible link, and when the fusible links go bad, they burn up and then they stop any current from flowing through, but they're a PIA to change. So it's so much easier when you can just come over here. See this little lever right here? You just take the lever, push it up, and we are now live. This whole car now has power. Now, this battery is pretty much dead. It's got 2 volts in it. I use it just to check to make sure I have conductivity everywhere in the system. That's why I keep this battery around. It's junk. It couldn't even, if you wanted to, it couldn't cause a fire. It's just that bad. But it gives me enough power to see I have power to over there. I'll have power down to my starter. I'll have power through my purple wire, which is my starter solenoid wire, which that goes to the interior and right to your ignition switch. And that's what energizes your solenoid, pulls the magnet, energizes the magnet, pulls a post in, and then the post contacts 2 positives which then send the power to the Bendix, or the windings of the starter motor. Then the starter motor starts turning, pushes the Bendix out. The Bendix gear then hits your, on this it would be a flex plate or a flywheel if it was a clutch, and starts your motor turning. That's how that works. So there's a lot that goes on when you're talking about wiring. And you see how nice, look at how nice that is. It's away from any heat sources. No heat sources are near any of my wires. All my wiring is done very nicely, very neatly. It's all where it's supposed to be. So there you go. That's what we have done under the hood. The past couple of days it's taken me to get all this done. I still have to loom all those wires and finish securing them, and then I'll be pretty much done under the hood, except for a few little odds and ends, like I got to crimp a lug onto the negative cable. Right now all I'm doing is I just take it and I touch it so I can complete a circuit if I need to. That's all I do. And let's turn the circuit breaker off, and you can see now the circuit breaker's off. So there will be no power to this wire at all. The only wire that has power right now would be this wire if my ground was hooked up. That's why I leave it unhooked. So I can, if I need to, I could just, boom, I'm done. You know, any kind of smoke starts showing up, I just pull that right off, boom, we're done. We turned off all the power to the car. So there you go. That's what's going on up here, up front. It's coming out really nice. We got a lot done also on the interior. I'm just waiting on some parts for the interior wiring. And there's my interior wiring. It's starting to come out really nice. I have all of my new mechanical windshield wiper arms and motor in. You can see the motor down there. There's all the mechanicals for it. There go the arms all the way across. They're all in. All the wiring is in. It's just now has to be finished hooking up. Like all the way over there, I still got to do all the dome light switches or courtesy light switches. That wire right there goes for the courtesy lights, and I got some wires over here for the radio and stuff like that. Still all has to be done. The purples here are for the safety, the neutral safety switch. So this way you can't start the car up in any gear but park or neutral. It will not start in any forward or reverse gears. That's what the neutral safety switch does. And then I got to finish running all of my wiring to the back because I have it stopped right here because I am waiting on the dome light. I was hoping to be able to use the old dome light over, but in the fire it melted a lot of the wiring to it and melted part of the dome light. So not going to use that over. Got all new courtesy light switches, all 4 of them are brand new. So all the good stuff is going on. Alrighty guys, long video, sorry. I get carried away, but I will talk to you real soon. Have fun. Okay, bye.